Rimuru Tempest is the main character of that time ago reincarnated as a slime, or Tensura for short. He is incredibly strong as he is an overpowered main character, but just how strong is he? Well, in this video I'll go over just how strong he is, his skills, magic and any other powers he has. My name is Conquest, and you're all within my domain. This video will be split into 6 sections: his race, his skills, his magic, his arts, his subordinate skills, and finally, how strong is he? If you'd like to skip anything or go straight to a certain point of the video, you can use the YouTube chapters feature or the timestamp in the description. Also, for this video, I'm talking about anime Rimuru. I might make a separate one for the web novel Rimuru and light novel Rimuru in the future. Now let's talk Tensura. Rimuru Tempest, as we all know, is a slime. This grants him 2 intrinsic skills as well as removing his need to sleep, breathe, eat, or eat, as he lives off the magic used around him. The 2 intrinsic skills he was granted are Absorb and Dissolve as well as Self-Regeneration. Absorb and Dissolve was absorbed by the unique skill Predator, so we'll get to this when we get to his skills, and Self-Regeneration allows Rimuru to regenerate from injuries, even once as big as the entire loss full entire limbs. When Rimuru became a true Demon Lord, his species also changed from a slime to a Demon Slime. This allows him to freely change between the physical and spiritual body, as well as granting him 10 new intrinsic skills. First, Infinite Regeneration, the superior version of his original skill, intrinsic skill, Self-Regeneration, as well as the extra skill, Ultra Speed Regeneration. This skill makes him heal at an insane rate as well as allowing his spiritual body to regenerate from being shattered. This skill makes him not unkillable as his soul can regenerate now too. Excess magic control and spatial motion. Both absorb into the ultimate skill, Yorio, Lord of Vows, so we'll cover that when we get to Rimuru's ultimate skills. And the Universal Detect is a skill that lets Rimuru sense almost every sensation to a high level. This includes, but is not limited to, light, smell, heat, magic, and sound waves. Universal Detect has also every other small effects that extra skills Magic Sense, Sense Sound Waves, Sense Heat Source, and Keen Smell have. And then, next to Universal Detect, there's also Universal Shapeshift, which is a skill that lets Rimuru completely change his body's properties and appearance to anything he wants. A multi-layer barrier lets Rimuru make magical barriers imbued with any of the resistances up to at all times for a certain amount of cost and effort. Each layer protects against a certain type of damage, and when damage is absorbed, an appropriate amount of magic use is expended in turn. Demon Lord's Haki is a skill that makes the aura of Rimuru much stronger and causes fear and death to those who can't resist it. Enhanced Replication allows Rimuru to create clones of himself that have the same strength and skills, excluding unique and ultimate ones, but they have a limited amount of magic use and durability. Dark Flame Lightning is a combination of the skills Dark Flame and Dark Thunder. It's also absorbed into the Law Manipulation of Yorio, Lord of Vows. Lastly is Universal Threads, which is a strong evolution of sticky steel threads, which are threads that are sharp and hard enough to cut people to pieces and sticky enough to restrict movement. That shows a lot of skills when we're not even in the skills section. But Rimuru is already incredibly strong from just his race, but now let's get into his full skill set. Get it? Skill set? I hate myself. Before we go fully into his skills, we should first cover all of the resistances he gets from all of his skills. And remember, all of these are imbued into a layer of multi-layer barrier, doubling how effective they are. He's resistant to any natural phenomena, regardless if they're formed due to magic or through physics. An example of this would be lightning. He is resistant to any form of physical attacks. He is resistant to any form of abnormal condition. Abnormal conditions are like status effects. He's immune to pain. He's practically immune to any form of heat or cold based attacks like fire or ice. This resistance was strong enough to make him immune to a greater fire spirit's attacks. He's resistant to any water and corrosion attacks. He's resistant to any electricity based attacks. He's resistant to any poison based attacks. He's resistant to any form of magical attack. He's resistant to any form of spiritual attack. He's resistant to any form of demonic or holy attack. And lastly, as is an ultimate skill, any skill that isn't an ultimate skill doesn't affect him, as the only way to count ultimate skill is with another ultimate skill. Yeah, actually hurting Rimuru is basically impossible. Now, let's get into his actual skills. First, we have his common skills. Thought communication is a better form of telepathy that allows Rimuru to share his thoughts and experiences with anyone within a kilometer radius of him. Poison and Paralysis Breath let him breathe out corrosive and paralyzing attack respectively. Body Armor lets him create armor on his body hard enough to shatter metal blades. Lastly, Ultrasonic Waves let him manipulate ultrasonic waves to attack or speak. Almost all of Rimuru's extra skills were absorbed into Yorio, Lord of Vows, so he has very extra skills of their own remaining. Steel Strength and Strength from Body both buff your physical strength by great amounts, and then all we have left is Range Barrier, which lets you create a barrier of any shape within range. What that range is never specified. Range barrier is actually using the attack Hell Flare, which is a very iconic one from the anime. The range barrier is used to contain the dark flames of Hell Flare in the dome of the orb when Hell Flare is used, you know. Now, I will talk about Rimuru's unique skills, but he has none. Every single one was evolved or fused into an ultimate skill. So let's go straight into his ultimate skills. The things that make him so goddamn overpowered. First is Raphael, Lord of Wisdom, which evolved from Great Sage after fusing with the Generate during the Harvest Festival. Every ultimate skill has many sub-skills under it, so let's go over each one individually. Mind Accelerate allows him to think at 1 million times the speed, making 1 second 12 days for him. Later, this gets increased to 100 million times the speed, making 1 second 3 years for him. As you can assume, this is a ridiculous edge in combat against anyone without the same ability. Analyze and Assess allows Rimuru to analyze things to get a better understanding of them. Often, after analyzing them, Raphael makes Rimuru resistant to whatever was just analyzed. This is also needed for Rimuru's ability to copy skills and create things within his body. Parallel Operation allows Raphael to do any task independent of Rimuru's main thought process. This allows for multitasking thoughts. This Parallel Operation is affected by Mind Accelerate. Task Cancel lets Rimuru skip the cast time for magic. All of Creation lets Rimuru understand everything that isn't concealed and that he has a bit of prior knowledge on. Synthesis lets Rimuru combine 2 objects into one. Separate lets Rimuru separate specific properties of objects to make it into a separate object. Skill Modification lets Rimuru modify with an evolved skill sometimes. Future Attack Prediction lets Rimuru see a multitude of possible outcomes and what's going to happen. There's an 100% chance that one of the outcomes calculated is correct. Now, let's move on to the evolution of the skill that started the whole trend of overpowerness. Beelzebub, Lord of Gluttony, evolved by sacrificing Merciless to Gluttony and evolving. Now let's get to the sub-skills. Predation allows Rimuru to absorb the attack in his body. Predation can be used on anything, even non-physical beings like spirits. The chance of success is lower than the target's consciousness. Predation can ignore time and space and can absorb anyone that Rimuru can perceive. Stomach stores predate the target. You can also store materials created by analysis. Items stored in the user's stomach are not affected by time. Its space is roughly 10 times that of the unique skill Gluttony needs. Memory Cry allows Rimuru to copy the former skills of any predated creature once they are fully analyzed. Isolation stores and breaks the harmful effects that can't be analyzed. Bot lets Rimuru afflict rot on the target, decomposing with organic. Monster corpses are partially absorbed in this manner will reward the user of part of the monster skills. Soul Consume lets Rimuru seize the souls of anyone begging for their lives, seeking help from the user, retreating or running away. Once the condition is met, the soul can be seized at any time afterwards, from virtually any distance instantly. Rimuru can be informed that any malicious thoughts by the target immediately. The souls of the recently killed can also be seized. Food Chain lets Rimuru give and take strength from his subordinates. He also gets all of their skills and can give them skills as well. Next is the crystallized form of Rimuru's false loyalty, Yo-Yo, Lord of Vows. This was formed by combining all of his leftover common and extra skills after the Harvest Festival, along with all of the new skills he gained through Food Chain using Unlimited Imprisonment as a base. There are only 4 sub-skills, but all 4 are incredibly powerful. Spatial Domination is the upgraded form of spatial manipulation and lets Rimuru trivially manipulate space. But the most common use for this is teleporting, which is nearly 0 delay, as well as locking the space around him to stop him getting manipulated. Universal Barrier is the upgraded form of multi-layer barrier by severing the space in between each layer of the multi-layer barrier. This defense is near absolute and getting past it is nigh impossible. Unlimited Imprisonment lets Rimuru trap a target in an infinitely complex number of spatial dimensions that is incredibly difficult to escape from. Law Manipulation lets Rimuru use Black Fire and Black Thunder, have total magical control, have total control of the properties of heat and inertia, have the ability to freely store and remove heat from the stomach as well as letting him alter reality. This skill also lets him use all of the skills from Food Chain. Lastly, we have Valdora, Lord of Storms, which is obtained from Beelzebub eating Valdora's remains. This ultimate skill only has 3 simple sub-skills. Summon with Storm Dragon lets Rimuru summon Valdora in his dragon form. Restore Storm Dragon lets Rimuru make a new Valdora if he dies. This is possible as the true Valdora still resides inside of Rimuru's soul. Storm Magic allows him to use Storm Magic. Yes, the floor here is made out of floor. And with that, that's all of the skills Rimuru has in the anime so far. Before we go into the magic of Rimuru, I'd like to just ask you to like and subscribe. It takes hours to write scripts and edit, so I'd really appreciate it. And if you're feeling extra, you could leave a comment too. The YouTube algorithm loves engagements. Rimuru has a ridiculous amount of magic he has access to, like his skills, with most of them almost never being used. Let's start off with the magic types that's under the category of aspectual magic. He has nuclear magic, which hasn't used the spell for yet. He has leech magic with the transportation barrier. He has barrier magic with the anti-magic area and this space extension barrier. He has mental magic, though he hasn't used the spell for it yet. He has illusion magic with transmit thoughts and sketch thoughts. He has magic communication. He has engraving magic. He has elemental magic with the subtype magic of spatial, fire, explosion, explosive fire, wind, water, ice, and earth magic. With Spatial Magic, he can dress change, teleport, warp portal, and transportation. Under Fire Magic, there's Fireball, Fire Barrier, and Firestorm. He hasn't used any spells like Explosive Magic, but he has used spells with a combination of Explosive Fire Magic, Explosive Fire Magic. With Explosive Fire Magic, he has Explosive Flames and Greater Explosive Flames. Under Wind Magic, there's Wind Cut and Tornado Blade. He hasn't used any spells for Water Magic. With Ice Magic, he's Icicle Lance and Icicle Shotgun. Lastly, under Elemental Magic and Aspectral Magic, he has Earth Magic, which hasn't used any spells for yet. The next category of spells after Aspectral Magic is Storm Magic, which he gets from the ultimate skill of Outdoor if you remember. If Storm Magic, Rimuru has Death Calling Wind, Storm of Destruction, Black Lightning, and Black Fire. Now let's move on to the Spirit Magic, which he has Spirit Communication, Necromancy, Secret Art of Bible, Arcane Soul Core, Secret of Faith and Grace, Grace Spirit Magic, Fire Spirit Magic, Wind Spirit Magic, Water Spirit Magic, and Earth Spirit Magic. With Demon Summoning, he has Summon Lesser Demon and Summon Greater Demon. Then, with Spirit Summoning Magic, he has Summon Greater Fire Spirit Ifrit, Summon Medium Space Spirit, Summon Medium Fire Spirit, Salamander, Summon Medium Wind Spirit, Summon Medium Water Spirit, Summon Medium Earth Spirit, Beast Gnome, Summon Lesser Space Spirit, Summon Lesser Fire Spirit, Summon Lesser Wind Spirit, Summon Lesser Water Spirit, Summon Lesser Earth Spirit. That's a lot of spirits. Now, second to last, we have Holy Magic, one of the strongest magic types. Holy Magic, he has Divine Miracle, which lets him manipulate Spiritrons. Through this, he can use Disintegration and Holy Ray. You've all seen what Disintegration did when Hinata and Adoman used it. And Holy Ray is just like that, but horizontal focused beam. Holy Magic also gives him Holy Cannon, Holy Blessing, Holy Field, Prison Field. He can heal alignment / recovery. Oh, and one last thing, with Divine Miracle, he can use Resurrection, which lets you heal any wound and resurrect the recently dead. Lastly, we have Physics Magic, which weaponizes the physics of the world. Under this, Rimuru has Megiddo and Argos. I think you all know what Megiddo does, but in the anime they didn't really explain it. We just had to infer how it worked. Well, Megiddo works by summoning water elementals to shape the lenses that then focus sunlight into beams of light that can instantly kill even 8-rank humans. Smaller wobbler droplets are used as mirrors to bounce the beams of light, so since the actual attack of light isn't technically magic, this can be used to bypass anti-magic barriers. Now, Argos takes these ideas and applies it to a massive scale. Rimuru creates a massive water lens near the atmosphere. Then with thousands of tiny slimes split from him connected through spatial domination as mediums, you can get a highly detailed video of the target location. You can also use Megiddo at the location of the video. This Megiddo is usable even with no sun, as it can be used with the pre-existing light beams bouncing around. Basically, Argos is a satellite camera that can also fire highly deadly beams of laser. And with that, that's all of the magic Rimuru has access to. Now let's move on to his arts. Depending on the number of skills that magic Rimuru has, he has a small number of arts, but he still has more than nearly everyone in the entire series. His first art is Battle Will, which transforms his aura into a fighting spirit which buffs his physical strength. This works independently from skills, so it can be stacked on top of skills. His next art is Model Will. This lets Rimuru enhance an object with either his aura or magic used to empower it. It also can cope projectile attacks, like magical skills. This will not only empower them, but protect them from anti-magic skills. Rimuru also has the art of Warm Hide, which lets you erase your presence. This has different effects depending on how proficient your outfit. At its most basic, it removes any sound you make. A step higher, it removes your smell and hides your temperature. Lastly, at the highest level, it removes your aura and spirit. Masters of this can remove without even disturbing magic cues. They can move without disturbing magic cues. I am capable of reading, I swear. Making even skills like magic sense useless. Magic Missile is an art that lets you move fire a ball of energy made of aura magic cues. It's basic but versatile and scales to Rimuru's power. So if Rimuru uses it, it would be devastatingly powerful. Combining arts and magic's key fighting techniques, which lets Rimuru apply a magical effect to his aura and fighting spirit. A simple technique of this is Key Slash, where Rimuru imbues his fighting spirit with whatever attributes the opponent is weak against. Using this concept, Rimuru has also created a storm art, Stormbreak, where Rimuru combines arts with storm magic to hold a sword and devastating magic. This is based on Hinata's Melt Slash. And speaking of Hinata's Melt Slash, that's also an art and Rimuru also knows it. Melt Slash takes disintegration and applies it to their sword, combining magic and arts. And that's what the arts Rimuru has so far, but since it's a small section, I'll go over all his other abilities that don't fit any of the categories right now. Rimuru is the master swordsman of the katana, who was trained by Hakuru and has had this skill with fighting his fight against Hinata. In fact, Rimuru's skill is great enough to completely overwhelm Yuki, who himself is a master swordsman who had created his own style. Because of Raphael, Rimuru's deep psyche can also not be messed with. Even true dragons cannot read his mind or memories because of this. Rimuru's soul is also special, for it being extraordinarily strong. This is why primordial demons want to follow him, and it's also why Rimuru is the only person to have ever reincarnated across worlds into a fully magical body while also attaining all of his memories. Now, that's everything Rimuru has except for his subordinate skills, which he gets through Food Chain. Speaking of those, let's move on to those. Through training the ultimate skill Yo-Yo Lord of Vows, Rimuru has all of his subordinate skills. He gets Cook and Battle Guard through Shion, and don't laugh at Cook. It's a reality warping skill that Shion just happens to use for cooking. You can remove limbs forever, and you can make them unrepairable, or you can just make your normal state into a frog or something. Rimuru gets Generalismo, however the hell you pronounce that, for Benimaru, and that skill's equally broken, with a big enough army you're getting millions of power boosts with a single skill, not to mention the other effects. He gets Shadow Striker for Soe. It's not that good for Rimuru since he already had better skills, but in other circumstances this skill is incredibly strong, as it allows you to move at high speeds, be stealthful, and increase your killing power. Rimuru gets Analyst and Manufacturer for Shuna. Analyst is basically a boss Raphael and a variant Great Sage, except it grants law manipulation, which is how Shuna used Overdrive in the fight against Adelman. And Manufacturer lets you fuse and separate things, as well as letting you change them out like Alchemy and Full Metal Alchemist. He gets Martial Matters from Haku, which allows you to read the future with high speeds, from Koobe, the background Kijin, because, let's be honest, like, what the hell has Koobe done besides make swords? From him, he gets Godly Craftsman. This allows for a powerful analysis, a pocket dimension to store things in, and the ability to change matter like Alchemy and Full Metal Alchemist. But it's still a background Kijin, because he never does anything besides make swords. Sculptor gives Rimuru Magic Wolf Summon, which allows him to summon Rango of any of the good boys at any time. Fugabu Rimuru gets Tuna, which makes attacks that would have missed become the best possible outcome instead. Kinda bullshit. Yo, the best stat of Small Goblin Girls grants Rimuru Guardian Gourmet. Gourmet is basically gluttony that doesn't have Mimicry, and Guardian allows Script Error here to transfer damage from his allies to himself. Rimuru gets Tempter through Diablo, which allows him to mind control and charm people, basically mentally restricting people and removing their free will. Diablo another script error here. I was clearly very tired when writing this. Has also made this skill even stronger. He's able to materialize the imaginary world where he holds the absolute authority. Once into that world, even the life and death of the targets will be in Diablo's grip. And then, he may even intertwine the things happening in this imaginary world with what happens in the real world, and the grammar in this paragraph is so fucked up in the script. He gets Reversa through Beretta, which lets him have two diametrically opposed essences at once, whatever that means. Though in the case of Beretta, it allowed him to have demonic and angelic powers at the same time. And this score is going off, which is really nice. And finally, we have the random extra skill. Tons of Rimuru subordinates are giving him. He has Ultra Instinct, nice. Thought Guidance, Holy Demonic Reversal, All-Seeing Eye, Flame Domination, Magic Bar, Identify Armor, and Perfect Memory. Now we've gone over everything Rimuru has so far. With all of this, just how strong is Rimuru? Well, if just Bell's a buff, if he let it go out of control, it could destroy the universe itself. Ignoring that, he is ridiculously strong. I mean, the man has 4 ultimate skills for crying out loud, and just having one makes you want the top tiers in the Tensura boss. Like, even people like Guy Crimson and Milim Nava only have 1 ultimate skill each. Hell, Veldora, a true dragon, didn't even have a single ultimate skill till he broke out of unlimited imprisonment. Of course, those people would still kick Rimuru's ass in the fight right now, but the point still stands. I mean, have you looked at this man's wiki page? I sure have, you know, for writing this video script. And he has more skills than everyone else combined, I think. Probably, most likely. He can eat you through space and time, has 2 wings thinking at speeds that make a second spec 12 days, and those wings are also the world's smartest supercomputer them. He can manipulate reality, he can summon a true dragon. Rimuru's just ridiculous. Well, at least it's not Rimuru from the web novel, because Rimuru from the web novel is fucking, I would say bullshit, but I think he transcends being bullshit. Now, if this video was useful to you, you should consider liking and subscribing. In fact, a nice convenient end screen should come up with a subscribe button right now. And speaking of the end screen, if you wonder if Rimuru can beat Goku in a fight, click on the video on the screen right now. It should also be a cut in the top right, unless YouTube is broken again, with my Tensura playlist if you just need more Tensura content. My name is Conquest, and until next time, take care. Peace.